Hi everyone, I hope you had a lovely weekend and are ready for Monday Maths. So we're starting a new unit today. So we've been doing loads on fractions, decimals, percentages. We're leaving that now and we're going to move on to doing some measurement. Now this often comes up in our morning maths, so going through it hopefully will help us a bit more with that as well. So it says to convert metric units of measure. Okay, now convert, if we're converting something, that means to change. So we're going to go between different types of units of measure, we're going to convert it. Metric is a system of measurement, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that when we go on to do a different system of measurement called imperial. Now metric is what they tend to use in Europe. We actually use a mix of metric and imperial in the United Kingdom because we just like to make it complicated. But I'll talk to you a bit more about the reasons why when we move on to imperial. You will have seen these before. It's millimetres, centimetres, metres, kilometres, grams, kilograms, millilitres and litres. We've all heard of them. It's just how we go between them. Now they have put on here a little guide to how you go between them. It might be worth you having a little peek at that as you're working. I'm going to explain to you what I think would be an easier way to do it. I'm going to suggest that all of you, before you even start doing any work, make yourself a little poster with this information. Okay, so what you need to know is that 10 millimetres is the same as 1 centimetre, 100 centimetres is 1 metre, 1,000 metres is 1 kilometre, 1,000 grams is 1 kilogram, and 1,000 millilitres is 1 litre. If you have that information in front of you, you are going to find it so much easier. So maybe spend some time, make yourself a nice poster. This isn't going to be the only day we're going to use it. So I really recommend getting that written down somewhere before you even start. Okay, oops. Now, we're going to go between them by timesing and dividing by the 10, if it's this one, 100 or 1,000. Remember our method to do that. You need to write out your place value column, so thousands, hundreds, tens, ones, your decimal point, tenths, hundreds and thousands. When you're working it out, I would write that out. No reason not to. And remember, depending whether we're timesing, it's going to get bigger, dividing, it's going to get smaller, so it's going to move that way, and then the amount of zeros tells us what to times or divide by. Okay, so get this information somewhere to hand. That will make it easier, and remember to do this for each question. It shouldn't be too tricky. Okay, so let's have a little look back at what the questions actually ask us to do. Now I'm going to start by going through A little bit. So it says 8 millimetres is how many centimetres? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to spot is that I want millimetres and I want centimetres. So I'm going to come back to my poster, which is not that great because it's on a whiteboard, but I'm sure yours will be better. Millimetres and centimetres. Now the relationship between those is that 10 millimetres is 1 centimetre. So what we need to do is we divide millimetres by 10 to find out what they are in centimetres, because we have 10 millimetres, 1 centimetre. We can see there, so it's going to be 10 and it's going to get smaller because we're going to have less of a big measurement. Okay, so 8 millimetres is how many centimetres? So what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to get the lid off my pen with one hand. There we go. I'm going to pop my 8 in my column that I've made there. Okay, now I need to divide by 10. When I divide by 10, 1 0 there, and we're going to move it smaller. Okay, so I'm going to move my 1 this way. Pop in my decimal point. I could have popped it there too, and I will need a placeholder. Okay, now I know that 8 millimetres is the same as 0.8 centimetres. It's really important you put those units back on or your work won't mean anything. Okay, and there's a few there. So number 2 would work exactly the same. Just cleaning off my board if I start shaking a bit. And then we've got centimetres into millimetres. Now this time we're going for a bigger unit into lots and lots of small units. Think of your ruler. So if you imagine that millimetres are smaller than centimetres, so we're going to need more millimetres because they're smaller. You need more of them to take up the same amount of space. So when we're going from centimetres to millimetres, we're going to times. And it's that same relationship, centimetres and metres, we're going to times by 10. Once you get to question 5, it's asking you centimetres into metres. Use your poster. This time it's 100 centimetres is 1 metre. So that's what you're going to be timesing and dividing by 100. Okay. And you just keep working down. If you have this information, it will make it so much easier. And remember to do this. Okay. B is very, very similar, exactly the same idea, just slightly harder numbers. And C, the same again. If you are needing some help, just ask. But if you remember to have all of this key information and you remember to use this each time, it shouldn't go too far wrong. Okay, good luck.